Jacob, why is procreation good? The point I thought I would be least challenged on, but that's fine. For those of you who weren't watching or paying attention, in my video I said that the government's only interest in getting legally involved with marriage is to encourage procreation. Because that can only occur between a man and a woman, they only have an interest in legalizing heterosexual marriage and therefore should not legalize same-sex marriage. Jacob comes back and says, well, why is procreation a good thing? The world is overpopulated, we've got 6 billion and growing, supplies are scarce. It doesn't seem in the government's interest anymore to advocate marriage if the only purpose for marriage is procreation. Two responses. First response is, you say that instead of considering marriage only for the purposes of procreation, the government should consider adoption as well as procreation. But unless your logic is that couples take care of children better than single people do, the argument itself is not an argument in favor of legalizing same-sex marriage. In fact, it may even be an argument opposing same-sex marriage. And by that I mean, if we have a bunch of single people as opposed to a bunch of couples, there are by definition more people willing to or able to adopt children than there are if there are only couples adopting children. If a single person can do the job just as well as a married couple can, the government can save itself the trouble. Second reason is, and without getting too off topic or beyond the debate of same-sex marriage, it is a valid point to make that the world's population is growing. In 50 years it will probably be the case, if it isn't already, that we're unable to feed, house, clothe, give water to all the citizens of the earth. And that will be a problem for every government, not just the United States. However, unless you think that it's possible to get the entire global community to reduce the amount of births until we get back to a level where all people can be housed, clothed, fed, etc., then what you would be advocating is one state or two states, or even, let's say, all of the first world states take that issue upon themselves, while second and third world states, countries that are less regulated and just wouldn't have the manpower to mandate to its citizens how many children they could have or who adopts who and by what legal means, what you would have is a situation where the populations in third world countries, less regulated countries, would surge, while populations in first world countries that did regulate procreation dropped. And what that would eventually lead to is a drop in their economic strength and a drop in their military strength, something that a government could never advocate. And in fact, the opposite is the exact purpose of a government, the strengthening of the economy and the strengthening of the military, things that can only come through procreation.